Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot. For today's pick a card reading, we have another future focused reading, which, as you can tell by the title down below, is Discover Your Path. What awaits you just beyond the horizon? So pretty much anything could come out. This is one of these grab bag readings I like to do where we could have finances and career come up, relationships, family, personal growth, maybe even some spiritual growth themes. We'll see what comes up with each different pile. But before we pick our piles today, I did have a card that came out when I was drawing the oracle cards for everyone, and I got a feeling or an inkling that this was something meant collectively for every pile today. So one of the decks we're using today is the Tea Leaf Fortune cards. We've used these before for those of you who have been to my channel. And the card that everybody got today collectively was Grasshopper, situations in the balance that require careful handling. Situations in the balance that require careful handling. So that is a message to all of you before we pick our piles today. I'll set that just off to the side here. Okay. And then picking our piles, we're picking with 3 different decks today. We're picking with the Forest of Enchantment Tarot, Tarot of the Divine, and the Wild Reflections Tarot. So just to go through that a little bit slower and give you more time to decide, pile number 1 is the Eight of Visions, or the Eight of Cups from Forest of Enchantment. Pile number 2 is the Eight of Cups from the Tarot of the Divine. And pile number 3 are the Eight of Cups from the Wild Reflections Tarot. So if you're new to pick a card readings, I always recommend go with your first gut instinct and/or feel free to meditate on the piles a little bit, see where your intuition takes you. Either way, whatever method you use, you can use whatever method you prefer, whatever works best for you. Whenever you're ready for your reading, drop down to the description box below, enter the top pinned comment, click on the timestamp there for your pile, and I'll see you in our discussion about what awaits you just beyond the horizon. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 1s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of what awaits you just beyond the horizon, or grab bag future reading. As you recall, the deck you used to pick your pile today was the Forest of Enchantment Tarot with the Eight of Visions, or as it's known in most decks, the Eight of Cups. So as always, when we pick with decks, I like to put the card right back in and pull our tarot cards right away. So let's do that right now. There we go. And let's shuffle. So Spirit came for my lovely pile number 1s. Regarding the topic of the near future, could you give me around 5 different tarot cards explaining more about what awaits them just beyond the horizon? What's just within reach for them? Thank you. 5 cards or so. Okay, well, there's one. We have, it looks like, well, actually 2. So 2 came up. We have the Keeper of Boons, or the King of Pentacles, as it's known in most decks, and then the Eight of Wands, or Spells. So then I will draw 3 more on screen here. 4, and I feel like that one's sticking out quite a lot. Let's do that one for number 5. All right, my lovely pile number 1s. Let's unveil your cards other than, well, spoiler alert, you already saw 2 of them. But from your oracle decks today, first up we have the card of Nourish from the Dream Ritual Oracle. Nourish, we have, it looks like a dinner table within an apple. Very cute. Nourish. I'm going to set that one over here to the left next to the pine cone, as always. And then from the Tea Leaf Fortune cards, today you received Teardrops, Great Personal Sorrow. Put that one up here next to the other pine cone. And then from this deck today, the Spirit Guide Oracle, or excuse me, Ask Your Guides it's called technically. We have Connection from the Runner Guides. And I swear every time and I'm not sponsored or anything, but every time I pull a card from this deck, I'm just wowed at the colors, and it's just very pretty. Gorgeous card, Connection. And then let's see, we'll put that one up here maybe next to the Teardrops. And then I picked one of my cute decks today. We have the Cat Wisdom cards, so it has cute animals, mostly cats on it. I thought, hey, why not? Let's do that. So you already kind of saw the back here, but Your keyword for this card is solitude. We have a little ginger tabby with a white chest, very cute, white paws. And on the back it says, great peace can be found in solitude. Set aside some time each day, even if it's only 5 minutes, to be alone. Be comfortable in your own company. You will calm your mind and attain a new sense of clarity. All right, solitude. We'll put the kitty cat up here next to the gold foliage. I always love that deck because it just, I don't know, it always brightens my day seeing a bunch of cute animals, and I think it probably will yours too, so. Then last but not least, the Lantern Oracle for today is number 3, Wisdom in Play, and I'll read this, it's a little faint. Our intuition knows more than we do. So she has a blindfold over her head. She's pouring water, not even knowing where the cups are, but she's using her intuition, her wisdom, right? Doesn't even need her eyes to see. Your intuition knows more than you do. And then let's unveil your tarot cards for today, pile number 1s. So first up, we have the 7 of Spells or Wands. 7 of Wands is often about feeling like things are against us, like these, I believe they're gnomes technically, right? Gnomes fighting against this dragon. And the dragon probably feels pretty surrounded right now, like, hey, I'm just minding my own business, but all these other gnomes are coming after me because they're afraid of me. So it's kind of like a defensiveness card, right? Defensiveness, defending oneself. We have the Weaver or the Queen of Spells or Wands reversed. Sometimes it can mean lacking the confidence to go through with something. Lacking self-confidence is probably a little bit more related to the Queen because she's about internal energy, at least in the way I read Queens. Internal energy of fire, confidence and charisma. Okay, and then 3 we have the, 3 of Pentacles reversed. Lack of teamwork in some area. Lack of teamwork with that being reversed. Then we have the 8 of Wands or Spells, which is something done speedily or things done quickly. Things coming almost as fast as, well, a horde of owls flying at you. There we go. And last but not least, we have the King of Pentacles or Keeper of Boons we saw earlier. Beautiful spread here. I love this deck. Well, I love all these decks, but I like the Forest of Enchantment Tarot a lot. We're actually going to just shift that up a bit. So one moment of silence, pile number 1s, as I look over your cards and put together your message for what awaits just beyond the horizon for you. One moment, excuse me. Well, the first thing that really stands out to me, pile number 1s, is you have a running theme in the near future here of connection, hence your Ask Your Guides Oracle here. A running theme of connection versus deconnection with others, because on the other hand, opposite of connection, you have solitude, because that kind of literally means two opposite things, right? You have the ability to plug in and connect to others. You have the ability to plug out and disconnect from others. So this near future, I would say the next few months or so after this reading is typically the time span I do for near future readings. There's going to be a struggle between the dichotomy of, do I want to connect with people more or do I want to disconnect with people more? Do I want to take myself away from certain situations more, or do I want to maybe get more involved than I have been before? And so that's kind of the central question that these next few months seem to be dancing around. It's kind of the, what do you call it, the hub of the wheel, so to speak, of your next few months is, do I disconnect or do I get more involved with either other people or other situations? Okay. And I think the reason why you might be inclined to disconnect is the teardrops over here. And actually, one moment. She's crying in this picture. I just realized that. I'm going to hold that up a little bit closer. It's hard to kind of see with this particular deck with the focal length of my camera here, but there are tears running out underneath her mask here of this. She almost looks like an elven figure, right? Teardrops. She's crying, literally. And you also have teardrops over here from the tea leaf fortunes, right? So I think, like what I was saying before I realized she was crying, there is some sort of sadness surrounding the next few months that, it could be that this has already occurred, pile number ones, and so you're kind of moving from this time of sadness, great personal sorrow, into these next few months of kind of almost the recovery from whatever it was. Everyone's going to be a bit different, as this is a general reading as to what the sorrow was, right? And or it could just be one of those times of life where there's a general downturn of, it might not even be necessarily like a major sadness, but it's natural in life every once in a while to have those ups and downs, right? Sometimes we have a few great months where everything is just hunky-dory, everything's fantastic, and then sometimes in life we have those months where things kind of slow down. Maybe we get a little bit more melancholy. And I know our first gut inclination is to run away from when we hear that. In fact, some of you might have already clicked off the reading when I said, great personal sorrow. You're probably like, nope, I don't want to hear that. But for those of you who have stayed, well, A, thank you for, letting me give tarot readings honestly and not just sugarcoating, right? But B, thank you for being the type of people that are willing to listen to both the light and the darkness of life, and to dance between those two different dichotomies, those two different opposites, or even, like I said, the opposites of connection versus solitude. Thank you for that, because sometimes, even when we go through downturns, you hit the roller coaster peak and then boom, now we're kind of, down here and we're dealing with these emotions. Sometimes those can be the most constructive periods of time in our life, because what emotions do, pile number ones, especially darker emotions, is they help us clear out emotional clutter, okay? They help us clear out or realize areas of our life where we're not happy. That's really what sadness is, pile number ones, is an indicator to yourself, especially when maybe you don't quite recognize it on the surface, that maybe something isn't right for us. Maybe there's something that's not making us happy. Maybe there's something more we could be doing, or something that we should disconnect from, hence the solitude. Or maybe there's something we lack in our life, and so we realize through that sadness, maybe I should connect more. It could be that maybe you've been very isolated, and so you're thinking, I need to connect more because this isolation makes me sad. Or it could be the opposite. Maybe being around other people or in certain situations has created that sorrow, or will create a little bit of that downturn in the next few months, and you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to disconnect a little bit. I'm going to lean more into that solitude. And the answer, pile number ones, to know what to do, when to connect, when to disconnect, okay, is your intuition, hence wisdom in play with this particular card from the Lantern Oracle. Your intuition knows more than you do. So when I see cups in tarot, or cartomancy in general, cups are symbolic of emotions, or at least it's like the water suit of cartomancy. And so when I see the cups in the Wisdom in Play card over here, it's almost like she's kind of pouring her emotions, the water symbolically, into one another and mixing them together and seeing intuitively, without even looking, where does this emotion lead me? Where does this land me? What answer does this emotion invite me to come to? And that's where the nourishing part of these next few months or so, just beyond the horizon, like the title says, comes in with this Dream Ritual Oracle card you received, Nourish. Like I said, sometimes those lower points in life where things are maybe a bit more melancholy can be the most developmental for our souls and nourishing for our souls. Because, I mean, the imagery I always think of is when it rains. Yeah, when it rains, technically the sun isn't out. Things are kind of gray. Things seem kind of moody. I mean, or maybe you're a person like me and you love rain, and rain is your favorite weather. But for those of you that, rain is not your favorite weather, just go along with the, you maybe relate to the metaphor a bit more. But that's the thing, though, is that even though it's gray, even though it's a bit cold, even though it's a bit wet and uncomfortable, the rain brings nourishing to the earth, and it grows fruitful times. And also, we also have to realize that without, it's an old cliche, but without light, there is no darkness, and with no darkness, there is no light. We would not know what one or the other is without the other to define the lack of what the other is. I know it's kind of a word salad I just threw out there, or spaghetti, I guess, but Literally, they're opposites that define each other. And that's the same thing with happiness and sadness in life, pile number ones. And that's what these next few months are about for you, okay? Now, looking at your tarot cards, I haven't even gotten to your tarot cards yet. I think what might be causing the sadness for you in general, everyone's going to be at different generating, but from the tarot cards, the central card right here is the Three of Boons or Pentacles reversed, and that is like a lack of teamwork. Someone is not working with you on something the way that you wish they would, pile number ones. And I think it's been leaving you, either they have been doing it because... It can even be a group of people. Whoever's involved, they've been doing it either because they've been defensive here with the Seven of Wands as the source card, the source of the problem, right? Or maybe you've been feeling kind of defensive. Maybe you're the dragon with all the gnomes around you trying to beat you with sticks, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, I'm just trying to survive here. I didn't do anything wrong. Either way, though, it's dimming the light of everybody involved there with that Queen of Wands reverse. It's dimming the confidence, and I think especially you, pile number ones, there might be an inclination for it to dim your confidence when this occurs here in the next 2 months or so. Sorry, I'm adjusting my chair if you hear squeaky noises. So, when that happens, don't despair, pile number ones, because where this is leading in the future, especially with the Eight of Wands and the King of Pentacles afterwards as the outcome card, right, is there's an element of quickness with the Eight of Wands, and there's material security or mastery of finances and career at the end here with the King of Pentacles. So I believe for most of you, this is probably work related. This is probably related to your job, or, if you're retired, it's kind of related to the thing that maybe you do in place of your what used to be your career before you retired, right? Things like that, or some community thing that you do. Either way, it's something to do with other people in your life that maybe you've been having these struggles, or you will be having these struggles in the next 2 months or so. But it's bringing you to a material wealth here with the King of Pentacles. Okay, so not all is lost, pile number ones. When this comes up, it's just an invitation to really think about, when do I connect with other people? Or if it's just a situation where I can't win, I can't convince them, I can't get the teamwork going, when do I disconnect and let go? Okay, so pay close attention to who's working with you, who's not working with you, what's a lost cause, what isn't, with these particular, it could be a person or a group, right? Pay attention to when you need to take time for yourself, because sometimes it might even be you're forced to be with these people, especially if it's a work situation and you literally can't unplug from them because you're kind of forced to be in close proximity, right? We've all been there. We've been on, either in school or at work, a group project where you're with people that are just like, it's just pure misery working with them because they're not very collaborative, or they're maybe difficult people, right? Taking time for yourself in solitude with self-care as well is another theme here for the next few months for you, pile number ones. So yeah, I know the reading technically looks kind of sad on the surface because, great personal sorrow. Like I said, probably a lot of people might have clicked off when I read that. They were like, oh no. And then they went off to some other tarot reader or whatever other YouTube video. But for those of you that have stayed, yes, thank you. But just know that it's an undercurrent of sorrow that's more just like, maybe, a few weeks to a few months of some rain in your life that's nourishing for other things and bringing you to somewhere better quickly with that Eight of Wands, to success in the material world here with the King of Pentacles. So that could manifest either in the way of, perhaps if you learn more about leaning into solitude from maybe people that are being frustrating, that brings you more material success because you're saying, you know what, not my circus, not my monkeys, and you focus more at work and maybe you do better at work. Or same thing, like, say you have a business where you sell a product or a service and there's just one customer or commissioner type person, patron, whatever the term is for your particular industry, that you just have to disconnect from them because they're just being a really tough customer. We've had all those before. We've had some Karens, right? As modern society calls them. Maybe you disconnect from the Karen, but that opens up an opportunity for you to work with someone else that really likes what you do and is a great customer to have. and buys, a lot of services from you because they're really pleased with what you do, and hence the outcome being the King of Pentacles, the mastery of the material and the financial around us. So you also, that's another thing. Look for opportunities in the next few months or so for, financial success born out of what seemed like frustration or a loss. And that's the silver lining of this gray cloud pile number ones of the sorrow of the next few months or so is there's something good coming out of it. Not all is lost. Sometimes, though, it's like when we do spring cleaning, right? Before we can bring in shiny new stuff that, maybe isn't broken or maybe serves us better, we have to clean out the old that's not working for us anymore, or that is just dust that we just need to get rid of, you know what I mean? Things like that. So it's a cleansing future here in the near future for you pile number ones. Let's see if there's anything else intuitively I can pick up here. Also look for opportunities in the near future to dabble a bit more in your intuition when you can, pile number ones. At least for those of you where maybe you don't lean into your intuition enough, maybe you just don't invite it enough opportunities to play. Like, for example, what's a really good intuition test that, one thing I was doing the other day was I was doing channeled writing, or automatic writing, they call it. And there was something one of my spirit guides mentioned to me that was something about astronomy. And literally the next day, someone had texted me something. It was like a joke, basically. And it literally had involved like an astronomical concept. And like none of the jokes that person had sent me for like months had anything to do with astronomy. And I was like, oh, okay, intuitively, that was kind of neat, because that proves to me that my intuition was correct when I was channeling the automatic writing, right? Things like that. Try automatic writing. Try, a really good old test is flipping a coin and seeing if it lands on heads or tails and predicting before it lands what it is, right? Invite intuitive play. Or, dream interpretation, I think, is always really fun to work with. Because sometimes even your dreams can be intuitive and predict the future. And when you analyze them symbolically, and in fact, actually, that reminds me, the deck creator of this particular deck, once again, not sponsored, Teresa, I believe, her last name is pronounced Chung. Forgive me if I completely butchered that pronunciation. She has a dream dictionary, and it was funny because years ago I bought that dream dictionary when I was like a teenage girl, basically, and then later on I saw this Dream Ritual Oracle deck, and I was like, oh, I love this deck, this is so cool, and then I recognized the name, and I was like, oh my god, it's the same woman who did the dream dictionary I have. So that's actually a really great dream dictionary if you ever need one, but there's a lot of resources for free online that do dream dictionaries. So look into dream interpretation too. I think that's another thing I'm being intuitively told to tell you. So automatic writing, dream interpretation, simple little intuition games like flipping a coin and predicting whether it'll land on heads or tails, things like that. So let's see if there's anything else, pile number ones, for the next few months or so, just beyond the horizon for you. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm also being told intuitively that there is something about, and I'm really drawn to this because of the cups again that she's pouring in the wisdom and play card, about being careful about where you invest your time or your energy or your emotions in different areas of your life. I feel like that's another part of the next few months or so, is there needs to be a little bit more careful decisions around how much time you invest in things. And that kind of harkens back to, maybe let's say, just for example, might not apply to all of you, but you work in a commission business or service business, you have a tough customer, and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to pour any more effort or energy or emotion into this customer anymore because it's just a lost cause. They're just going to be kind of whiny and, non-collaborative. Maybe they're a Three of Pentacles reversed themselves in their personality, right? And so you say, screw it, I'm not even going to start pouring energy into that cup. I'm just going to politely tell that customer, hey, I'm really glad that you wanted to work with me, but I don't think this business deal is going to work out. And then, work it out from there, because that interaction with that particular person, in this example at least, is going to pull more out of you than you're going to get out of it, right? Or it's not an equal exchange. It's not a mutual symbiosis. It's almost parasitic in the way that maybe this person or these people have been drawing on you. So be careful about where you invest pile number ones in the next few months, your energy and your time and your emotions. That's another part of figuring out a good balance between things. Not just between connection and solitude, light and darkness, sadness and happiness, but in where you invest your energy. And remember to nourish yourself. That's another theme of the next few months or so here, is self-care. Self-care, especially if you are going through a little bit more of an emotional downtime here with that Great Personal Sorrow card, okay? And I believe that is it, pile number ones. That's everything I am seeing. So as always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. If you liked the reading, if it resonated with you, please like, comment, and or subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. It just helps the channel out, which helps me provide more readings for everybody, including yourself in the future if you do choose to return. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading, pile number ones. Bye. Hello there, my beautiful pile number twos. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of what awaits you just beyond the horizon. As you recall, the deck you used to pick your pile with today was the Tarot of the Divine, the Eight of Cups, the card of emotionally moving forward or forward momentum. Perfect for this reading, right? And as always, when we pick with tarot cards, I like to put them right back in the deck and shuffle your cards from tarot right away. So let's do that as I speak. Spirit team of my lovely pile number twos. Our reading today for their highest best good is about what awaits them just beyond the horizon. Could you expand more on this message, please, with about 5 or so cards? Thank you. For pile number twos, what awaits them? Tell me the story. Well, okay, that one for sure was just popping. So we have one already that was just almost flipped out. 2, 3, 4, and let's do number 5 there. Let's unveil your cards, pile number twos. First up from your oracle decks today. Dream Ritual, you received the Observe card. We have a bed hanging from stone. New moon in the background, overlooking it looks like a little meadow field. Observe. Looking at things from above, paying attention to things. From the Tea Leaf Fortune card you received, or I should say Tea Leaf Fortune's deck. The card you received was Dark Man, dealings or relationship with a man of dark complexion or hair. Man with dark features or dark complexion, okay. So it seems like there is a masculine energy figure that is important in the upcoming few months or so here, pile number twos. From the Ask Your Guides Oracle, you receive very red. We have Celebration from the Joy Guides. We have, it looks like they're dancing around a fire. Having a grand old time. Number 37. Here we go. Put that up there next to the Dark Man card. And then I also picked from my Cat Wisdom deck today because I thought it was really cute, and everybody loves fuzzy animals, of course. So from the Cat Wisdom deck, you received Hiding. So we have a bunny and a little ginger tabby. Very cute. Hiding. There is no need for you to take back... Oh, excuse me. There's no need for you to take a back seat in this situation. You have what it takes to deal with the situation that has presented itself. There is no need for hesitation. Draw on your experience and your inner strength and step into the limelight. It's your time to shine. Okay, a little bit of a coming out of our shell feeling. I wouldn't be surprised if you got the Hermit reversed in your tarot cards, but of course we'll see what pops out later. Okay, trying to make this nice and even here. There we go. Well, you know what? Perfection is impossible, so we'll leave that as it is. And then from the Lantern Oracle today, you received number 13, False Beliefs. I'll read this here. It probably is a bit hard to see on camera. Once the untruths that we believe about ourselves are illuminated, so are the ways we can release the false limitations they confine us to. So, this is about having false beliefs about yourself, pile number twos. Probably related to celebration and hiding, feeling like you have to hide but you don't. Maybe it's a bit of a coming out of our shell theme here for the next few months or so after this reading. There we go. And then from the Tarot of the Divine cards you received, I'm going to actually just put these, well, I'll put that up there. There we go. I'm being a perfectionist, dang it. Okay, no more perfectionism. Number 1, we have the Three of Wands, taking action on plans for the future, climbing the ladder here. Plans for the future. Number 2, the Five of Wands. Lots of fire so far, not just with all the wands, but also we had fire in your celebration card. This Five of Wands is about maybe a little bit of a battle of egos or willpower, some combat. Usually it's a bit more lighthearted than the Five of Swords, but we'll see what else pops out in context. Number 3, we have the Magician reversed. Can indicate that we feel like we don't have the resources we need to do what we need to do or manifest what we're trying to manifest, things like that. Interesting. Number 4, we have the Two of Swords, making a choice. And last but not least, from your tarot cards, you receive the Wheel of Fortune, good luck, a turn of good luck, good karma. So actually it looks like a pretty dang good few months ahead of you here, pile number 2s. You are a little bit more of a happy reading than pile number 1 was today, which I'm always glad to hear. I'm always glad to be able to profess to, right? To explain. So pile number 2s, I'm going to take just a quick little tiny piece of silence here to take a drink and also look over your cards, but I think I already pretty much am sure what this reading is about, so apologies just for a few seconds of silence here. Well, theme number 1, pile number 2s, is they're telling me there's a draw in the next few months here or so where you might be inclined to hide away a little bit more than you need to. You may be a little bit too stuck in your head and not... You're erring more on the side of thinking things through too much or overthinking versus going out and just doing things with a little bit of impulsivity and a little bit of spontaneity. Does that kind of make sense, pile number 2s? You have a lot of cards that are about either like hiding away or not needing to, actually, is what that card means, right? Going out and celebration, being happy, being together with other people, maybe even a little bit of like social events, things like that. But then on the other side, you also have observe, which, when we observe things, that's a very, very quiet activity. That's an activity of looking at things from the outside and thinking to ourselves rather than taking action or getting involved. So pile number 2 is basically what that means after the whole word salad. I kind of just talked through all these cards, right? Is you're being invited more in the next few months to partake in more social activities, partake in more celebrations. You might be the type of person, maybe very introverted, where you hesitate a little bit when it comes to, maybe someone gives you a social invite and you're the type of person that's like, oh man, I'd rather just stay home and read a book or watch YouTube or rest after a long day, things like that. But there's something to be gained from not hiding in the next few months here. So you're being invited to not hide, okay? You don't have to hide away. It's your time to shine. There is something about you that will bring a lot of quality and a lot of light to these gatherings that you might be invited to in the next 2 months or so. Not only, you can still do the observation thing. You can still be your introverted self. Introverts bring a lot of things to social gatherings as well. That's the beauty of extroversion versus introversion, pile number 2, is that it's one of those things in the world where, in human life, where it's good to have a balance of two opposites, right? We need extroverts to help, incite social events, to bring people out of their shell, right? To express things. They're communicators. They're the fire to the water of introverts who their role is more to, like the Dream Ritual Oracle says, observe, right? Their role is more about independent, solitary activities, maybe a little bit more one-on-one intimate conversations. And that's the thing, is that both introverts and extroverts are so needed. So that's one thing to keep in mind, pile number 2s, in the next few months or so, is how introverted are you being versus how extroverted are you being? And I think for most of you, you tend to lean towards more introverted, and you're being encouraged to be more extroverted here. Go to those social events. Don't hide. And yeah, do your typical, maybe some quiet observation thing while you're at these events, but also partake, okay? That's another thing that you're being told. Partake. That's one message for the next few months or so. And I think And I'm not sure, well, you have your tea leaf fortune here, and it talks about a dark man, a man of dark complexion or dark features, right? And it's like you're either going to meet this man or masculine energy at these gatherings or one of these gatherings, or let's see, I'm gonna ask an intuitive question 1 second. Sorry for the silence. I'm getting clarity on where you're meeting this person or how he's involved or they're involved. Yeah, it's something to do with the social events, they're telling me. Social events. So keep an eye out. I don't know if you're meant to, you're meant to observe and, meet this person, I think. Pile number 2s. So when you're at these social events, should you take the opportunity or the invitation, which you always have free will, pile number 2s. I'm never going to tell you have to do what I tell you in a reading, but your spirit team is really encouraging you, and should you take that encouragement and go, look out for someone with dark complexion or dark features. There's something with that masculine energy with those features that is important for you to either learn something from them, or maybe someone you're supposed to meet, as a part of your soul circle, things like that. Could be if you're looking for romance, it's someone that you're meant to meet for a romantic purpose, or it could be a platonic good friend you're supposed to meet. Things like that. And or, even if it's someone you already know, pile number 2s, it's to rekindle or even strengthen the relationship you have with this person. Okay, so just keep an eye out for someone with dark features or dark complexion here within the next few months, specifically at social gatherings or social invites. Okay, that's message number 2. And kind of tied into that, pile number 2 is the message of false beliefs with your Lantern Oracle here. This is kind of the general, when I pulled this deck for our readings today, I asked your spirit teams, could you explain kind of what is the overall lesson of the next few months or so for for you, pile number 2s. And this is the card that came out, false beliefs. And it's about kind of what it says on the tin, not really believing in yourself, having false beliefs about yourself, literally the title says. And I think that has to do with the hiding card over here with the cat and the bunny. And it's you might be hesitant to go to these social events or socialize because there's a belief that you have to kind of hide away in the shadows, or there's something about yourself you feel I don't know, maybe you get social anxiety, pile number 2s, which if so, hello, that's me too. But you get social anxiety, or it's you believe I won't bring anything to this group or this invite or this event. I won't, I'm not going to be entertaining enough to other people, and, I'm not going to be ABC, whatever, insert reason here. Whatever it is, that's a false belief about yourself. And when you go, or if you go to these social events, it's going to dispel that false belief about yourself, or at least it'll be the very first inclination of, hey, maybe that's not right. Maybe that's a false belief, and maybe I'm not actually that way, or maybe people don't perceive me the way that I think, and I think you'll find that you may be a little bit too hard on yourself, pile number 2s. And maybe that's even where the dark complexioned or featured man comes in. Maybe that masculine energy says to you, well, maybe not even says it to you, but proves to you, hey, you're someone of value. You're someone that doesn't have that negative quality that you thought you did. And that's why it's so crucial for you to interact with this person, okay, within the next few months. So, yeah, I just be aware of limiting beliefs in the next few months. Be aware of doubts about yourself, pile number 2s. Now, looking at your tarot cards, I haven't even gotten to your tarot cards yet. I've just been looking at your oracle cards. Let's see here. Well, the outcome right here is the Wheel of Fortune upright, which is very, very, very good luck. So I see a lot of luck for you in the next, the close time period of a few months here, pile number 2s. And specifically, it's so we have the 3 of Wands, which is planning or taking steps towards the future. If you've recently been having issues manifesting what you wanted to manifest, or if you've recently been having issues getting things done that you wanted to get done, or wherever it's felt like the universe has been kind of blocking you from manifesting things, pile number 2s, I think that's what's going to be changing here in the next few months, is that luck or bad luck is going to turn around into good luck here with the Wheel of Fortune as the outcome. And it has to do with a choice that you make here, with the 2 of Swords being the near future card. But what's interesting here is we have the 3 of Wands and the 5 of Wands at the beginning before that. action on the future and battle of wills or ego. I think if you're asking a question as to maybe why you've been blocked recently, maybe why things have been getting in your way, pile number 2 is it's like you've been wanting to move into the future. You've been wanting to take action on things that you've been planning for with that 3 of Wands, but someone was getting in your way here with the 5 of Wands. It's like someone was having a battle of ego or will. So just for example, if this was at work, just let's say, it could have been that maybe someone's ego was getting in the way of some project that you were trying to get done or some idea you had. It could be that people were just being kind of combative, or it's been maybe a bit of a hectic, hectic time recently at your workplace, if that applies to you. And so it's really been factors, I think, out of your control as to why that Magician reverse popped up, that lack of ability to manifest the things that you've been looking for. But that is turning around here with that Wheel of Fortune out over here is the outcome, which is, probably great news to hear, especially if you've been really frustrated because, it's not fun sitting in that energy of the 5 of Wands, though it is technically more lighthearted than, say, the 5 of Swords. That's more the harsh battle card. This is more of the fiery battle of, sometimes it means competition. Sometimes it means, someone's ego kind of getting in the way, but it's not really like a fight out of malice. Not fun, but thankfully, that seems to be clearing out here pretty soon for you, so keep an eye out for that as well, pile 2s. Let's see, anything else here did I miss? I want to make sure. In celebration. Apologies for the silence just for a moment. And I wonder if for a while you've been kind of doubting yourself. Maybe that's where some of these false beliefs have come from, is you've been doubting yourself because you felt, well, I can't manifest or do or achieve this thing I've been wanting to do. And you kind of took it personally as it defined the way you view yourself as, I've been unsuccessful in this area of my life or this thing that I wanted to do, so therefore I must be insert bad quality here. But I think that's part of the lifting of false beliefs here in, the short-term future is you realizing, it was just factors out of my control here with the 5 of Wands especially. Like, just someone's ego getting in the way is basically what it was. Or someone being competitive, and it was just, it's just a pain in your butt. But, I think sometimes when things go wrong, some of us tend to, internalize it, and we blame ourselves and think, well, maybe we're just not good enough. But really what it was, pile number 2, is they're telling me is it's just someone's, I don't want to say fifis because it's the Wands, it's not the Cups. But, a lot of times when ego is involved, it does involve feelings or fifis, as I just said. So, I think maybe someone was just being kind of petty and getting in your way, or it was like things were being blocked for petty reasons with that 5 of Wands. And so, yeah, you're just going to realize that, okay, that wasn't a me problem. That was an other person problem or a situation problem in this area of my life. Yeah. So that's always good to hear, right? Let's see. I think that is everything. Pretty short and sweet, pile number 2s. One more second. I just want to make sure. Yeah, so just to summarize, pile 2s, when you get invitations to socialize or interact with other people or go out, take them. When you get invitations to celebrate, take them. Or at least you're being highly encouraged to. Really evaluate here in the next 2 months what false beliefs you have about yourself. Keep an eye out for that man of dark complexion or dark features, okay? That's another important part of these next 2 months. And yeah, just know that there are some things that seem to be unblocking. Luck is turning in your favor with that Wheel of Fortune upright here. And it seems like if anyone in your life has been kind of petty, or maybe your workplace has had some petty issues recently, however that applies to you, whatever you've been trying to seek here in the near future, the plans you've been trying to go forward on, that blockage is going to move away, and it seems like you're going to finally make progress in that area of your life here soon. So very, very good news across the board, pile 2. So I'll leave you with that for today. As always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. If you liked the reading, if it resonated with you, please like, comment, and or subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel. That just helps the channel out, which helps me provide more readings for you and other people. Things like that. help a girl out, right? If it resonated with you, of course. But in any case, like I said, hope it was helpful. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading pile number 2s. Bye. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 3s. Welcome to your Pick a Card reading today on the topic of what awaits you just beyond the horizon. As you recall, the deck used to pick your pile today was the Wild Reflections Tarot, the 8 of Cups from that deck. And as always, when we pick with decks, I like to put the card right back as it was and shuffle your tarot cards right away. So let's do that right now. Spirit team of my lovely pile number 3s. For their highest, best good within the next few months or so, just beyond the horizon, could you give me around 5 cards that explain what they should expect? Thank you. What should they expect? What's going on? Okay, we have Justice Reversed. Well, we'll leave that up, right? You already saw it. Spoiler alert. Number 2. 3. 4, and I feel like even the back one here, 5. For some reason the back of the deck's calling. And let's unveil your cards, pile 3s. So, from your Oracle cards today, from your Dream Ritual Oracle, you received a beautiful Impulse. We have a heart with, are those doves? They look like doves, yes. Impulse. Put that one over here next to the pine cone. From the Tea Leaf Fortune cards, you received the Star, Guaranteed Success. Well, that's pretty good to hear, right? Guaranteed Success. Impulse, Guaranteed Success. And then from the Ask Your Guides Oracle today, you received number 3, Leap of Faith. Guardian Angel, bit of a theme coming out here. Impulsivity and Leap of Faith. I wonder if you got the Fool card in your tarot cards. We'll see. From the Cat Wisdom deck, which if you're not familiar, it's just a deck full of really, really cute animals, mostly cats. I thought it'd be something cute to lighten up our day is how I'll put it. From the Cat Wisdom deck, you received Strength in Numbers. We have 2 little gray tabbies around a gray squirrel. Very cute. Oh, I love cats. Strength in Numbers. And it says, call on a friend for company and support to get you through this challenging time. Join forces with those around you who can offer a helping hand. We're always stronger together, and you can return the favor down the track. Strength in Numbers. So you have to gather a whole army of kittens to help you in the next few months. No, I'm just kidding. Just bring a whole army of kittens with you wherever you go. I think you'd win any debate or overcome any challenge, right? And then from the Lantern Oracle, you receive number 37, Transitions. You have all the inner resources you need to cross whatever bridges arise on your path. So maybe next few months is about change. We have transitions here, making changes. Maybe being a little bit risk-takey here with Impulse and Leap of Faith, but on the positive side, guaranteed success. Let's reveal your tarot cards, though, before I get too far in the weeds. From the Wild Reflections, first up, we have the Hierophant. This is the card of tradition, the card of establishment, the way things have always been, powers that be. From the second one we have is the Knight of Swords reversed. Sometimes can indicate either a lack of taking action with the mind or maybe needing to do that more. Specifically, that manifests sometimes in the way of not saying things that we should have, or maybe being a little reckless with what we've said, being a little bit reckless with the way we think too, because swords are air, which is the mind. Third up, we have the Ace of Wands inspiration. A new kindling of creativity, a new kindling of an idea in terms of passions, or wands being fire, it's the suit of passion or like willpower or creativity. So beautiful. I think that's where that new start is coming from, that change. Ace of Wands. Then we have the Two of Pentacles, balancing things, juggling things. And last but not least, we have the Justice reversed card that we saw right away when it flipped out during the drawing. So I'm going to take just a quick little drink, look over your cards here, pile number 3s, and apologies for just a moment of silence as I do those two things. So let's see what is just beyond the horizon for pile number 3s. Well, definitely success. I mean, we see that with the star card over here. Guaranteed success. But of course, the first question you're probably asking is, well, hey, Lone Pine, what kind of success are we talking about? What I see for you, pile number 3s, in the next few months or so, just beyond the horizon, as the title says, is I think you're embarking on something new. I think you've been kind of in one place for a while. I believe that's probably why you have the Hierophant as your first card, as like the source card, I call it. The inciting incident. That is the card of tradition. That's the card of the way things have always been. The card of establishment, things that have been as they are for a long time. You've been kind of in one place for a while. You've been stuck for a while. Maybe not necessarily in an unhappy way. It's not stuck in the way of, oh God, this is misery, or maybe it is for you specifically, but as a general reading, everyone's going to be a bit different. But in either case, whether you're miserable where you are or things are okay, but they could be better, right? You've been there for a while. And the beauty of the next few months or so for you, pile 3s, is you're being invited to be a bit risk-takey. You're being invited to, I mean, you have two cards basically that mean pretty much the same thing. Leap of faith and impulse. I mean, not quite the same thing, but you know what I mean. You know, an impulse is something that we do spontaneously. We have an impulse and we just go for it. Leap of faith is kind of impulsivity, but on top of that, with a sheen of having faith that the universe will guide us where we need to go as soon as we are willing to take that leap. I have faith that success will come about if I just take that step, if I just take that leap, okay? And so I think that's where you're being invited to move out of this stagnancy of the Hierophant into the central card here being the Ace of Wands. But I hear you ask, well, what about that Knight of Swords reversed between? The challenge for you in the next 2 months or so, pile number 3, is and I'm like this too, so I'm kind of just, the pot calling the kettle black, but I think when it comes to new opportunities and risk-taking, you tend to be the type of person that's very risk-averse. You maybe tend to be the type of person who you maybe overthink a little bit. That can be another manifestation of the Knight of Swords reversed, is like, it's such a lack of taking action with the mind that you're just overthinking things a little bit too much, which, sometimes thinking things through a lot is great. I mean, that helps us prevent mistakes. That helps us prevent making oopsie daisies, right? But sometimes in life, the best time to embark on a journey is now. So that's kind of the struggle I see for you in the next 2 months, is you feeling like, I really kind of want to move out of this stagnancy, but I'm overthinking it, I don't know. But the central core card here is that Ace of Wands. New inspiration, new opportunities in terms of creativity, in terms of passions. So pile number 3s. If you get an inclination in the next few months or so to take a leap of faith towards something you're passionate about, don't overthink it, just do it, okay? Like, whatever is at Nike, right? Just do it, okay? Basically, I mean, you have guaranteed success here. And I know it's easy for me as a tarot reader just to be like, just throw out fear and just go headlong into the wind. But based on the cards here, this is a great time for new ideas and new passions to take bloom, or to plant them and let them grow, to take that leap of faith. Oops, sorry, I knocked the table. It might have jiggled the camera a bit. And that's, I think, where your transitions card comes in, is because when I pulled from the Lantern Oracle today from your spirit teams for each pile, I asked, what's the lesson of the next few months or so for pile number, well, for you, it's number 3s. And that's where you got transitions, and it's about, well, like it says on the tin, you have the inner resources you need to cross whatever bridges arise on your path. So the bridge for you, I think, that you need to climb or cross is going over the tumultuous waters of that overthinking that's going to get you in your way. But it's telling you, you have what it takes not only to overcome that overthinking, to overcome any potential issues that maybe have been causing you the overthinking, and stopping you from taking that opportunity, okay? So, for example, let's say it's a new business and you're like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't know if there's like a good amount of customers that would want this type of service or this product. They're telling you you have the ingenuity to know and adapt and try to figure out your customer base if that applies to you, pile number 3 is. Or, for example, maybe it's you moving to a new job that is in the same career field, but it's something that really resonates with you, and it's more about it's more aligned with what you want to do. However, you might have that fear of, oh God, I'm leaving something secure, I don't know. That old cliche is, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. So maybe that's part of your overthinking here. That bridge you need to cross here, pile number 3 is give yourself the chance for something better here. Is because if you stay in place, you never know how much better it could be somewhere else. Does that make sense, pile number 3s? So lean into transitions, lean into changing things, lean into welcoming those winds of change in the next few months or so. Because they're also telling you here with that 2 of Pentacles, you're going to balance things just fine. That's kind of related to the transitions card. You have everything you need, and I also think you'll have people supporting you on this. Pile number 3 is with strength in numbers. Maybe part of the thing you don't like about where you are is you feel like nobody's helping you. Wherever you're going, there might be more of a collaborative energy there, a little bit more of a teamwork energy there. Maybe you're even kind of adding someone to your business or adding someone to your job. Maybe even it's like your company's hiring someone new in your department and you're kind of worried about it. That change is a good thing, pile number 3 is, because strength in numbers, I feel like they're going to help you a lot more than you expect. And or, like I said, if it's a new venture, you'll have people that support you more than you think that you will, okay? People that will believe in your idea, people that might even offer to help you along the way, and if right now you don't have that, well, look for people that will do so. There's always strength in numbers, like the card says, okay? So look towards collaboration in the next few months or so as well, pile 3s. And like I said, star, guaranteed success. I mean, literally, it's even funny because in your guardian angel card here, not only is she taking the leap of faith we talked about, but she also has a star kind of next to her hand. Like she's almost there, just about to grasp the star. I don't know if you can quite see that on camera, but yeah, she's surrounded by stars and she's reaching for the biggest one, and it's just within her grasp. And I feel like that's kind of like you, pile number 3s. You're almost there. So all it needs from you, all the universe requires, is that you be willing to reach instead of staying behind and staying stuck in one place. You have to reach out to take it, because the universe can hand things to you, but you have to open your palm in order to receive them. That's kind of what I'm intuitively being told to tell you. So I'm also just one moment going to take another drink because my voice is getting a bit scratchy. Apologies. And then we have the Justice card. Justice reversed specifically as the outcome, which is interesting because justice reversed is often about, well, it's what it says on the tin, a lack of justice, injustice, things not being fair. So, reading that as the outcome, apologies, I'm going to ask a question. It's going to be silent for a second here. So they're saying something about writing the balance here with justice. It could be writing the balance in terms of finances if this is like a job-related move. It could also mean writing the balance literally as in like the balance of, not just like where you're putting your energy, but also the balance of fairness as well, especially just, because it is the Justice card. Maybe it could literally on the tin also mean that maybe you're moving away. Like, maybe currently you work with, like, a legal type thing. Like, I don't know, lawyer, paralegal, judge, court type, criminal justice type thing. And maybe that's why the outcome is justice reversed, because you're moving away from a job like that. It could also mean, yeah, especially a justice reversed, it's like, finally focusing on... what I'm being told is that I think, and I won't sugarcoat pile number 3, so I never do. I'm honest with my tarot readings. I think there's still something that's going to be needed adjusted wherever this is that you go, or whatever it is you decide to take a risk on. And that adjustment that still needs some tweaking, with that justice reversed being the outcome, is there's still some sort of unfairness surrounding it. And that's why they said it's about righting the balance. Okay. So I'm not saying necessarily that, like, if it's a new job that you're not going to get paid fairly. I'm not saying necessarily that, like, you know, say you're leaving a job and it's a fear of, you know, well, am I being fair to my previous employer? Because, like, maybe it's a situation where you haven't worked there for a very long time, and so you feel like you're betraying them by leaving. But there's still going to be some work to be done in terms of writing fairness at this new place that you go to, or this new journey you take on. And so that'll be the central theme of where you're going with this. And that justice reverse doesn't mean that it'll always be unfair, pile number 3s, but that seems to be the main thing you'll be working on when you get there. When you grab that star and there's that guaranteed success, yes, that's great. But with justice reversed being the outcome, it's about, you know, I mean, because every story, at least in life, when we go through different situations, there's never technically an end to the lessons that we learn. So I see this as almost like a closing of a chapter of, you take a leap of faith, you overcome the overthinking type energy, this new thing blossoms, you're able to balance things well. That's the end of chapter number 1 for you, pile number 3s. However, the opening of chapter number 2 is, okay, now I have this injustice or unfairness to deal with here afterwards. So, you know, it's like, I'll use a writing metaphor because I write a lot myself, and so that's kind of how I know to explain it, is you can't have a story without a challenge to be solved. Otherwise, there is no story. So the challenge to be solved right away is overcoming overthinking, and then the next challenge to be solved is overcoming unfairness. That's the next lesson on your path here. So just be aware that, you know, things aren't going to be 100% right as rain wherever it is you go. You'll be able to balance things just fine. They're encouraging you, hey, you have everything you need to overcome and succeed, guaranteed success, but just be aware that's the next lesson in the roster for you on a soul level, pile number 3s, is unfairness and righting the balance of unfairness back to fairness, okay? However that applies to you, wherever it is you're going, or whatever leap of faith it is that you're taking, okay? And remember, strength in numbers. That might also help you balance here with justice reversed, and will help you make this transition, okay? So don't be afraid when I say that, because I'm not saying, you know, oh, doom and gloom, things are going to suck, because obviously, I mean, you have guaranteed success here. It seems like things are going to go really, really well, but just be aware that's the next lesson, okay? Also, apologies if you hear a cat scratching a door in the background. My cat is currently wanting to get in really bad, so my cat, which she has a gray tabby, actually says hi. Magic says hi. I believe that is Magic. It sounds like her, but so strength in numbers, having everything you need, take the risk. So yes, don't overthink things too much. Be willing to take risks. Pool collective resources, strength in numbers. Success is on the way, and your next lesson, after you make this change, is overcoming unfairness in some area of your life. Okay, so that is what I will leave you with, my lovely pile number 3s. As always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. If you liked it, if it resonated, please like, comment, and or subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. That just helps the channel out, which helps me provide more readings for you and everybody else who watches these videos. And yeah, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading, pile number 3s. Bye.